Stillness. Sounds nice, right? Quiet, peaceful, zen. But let's tell the truth. The kind you don't put on a mood board. You're not in stillness. You're in survival mode, rebranded. Because what you're calling rest is just your soul hitting the emergency brake. And you've gotten used to it. You tell yourself, I'm just letting the universe guide me. I'll know when the time is right. I'm not ready yet. And here's the thing. There's wisdom in pausing. There's power in waiting. There's even grace in being gentle with yourself. But you're not waiting anymore. You're withering. You've made your stillness sacred because the idea of movement terrifies you. Because movement means responsibility, accountability. It means change. And change. That means giving up the story you've mastered. I'm stuck. I'm not enough. I'm figuring it out. You've turned indecision into identity. And that's okay. Because here's what no one told you. Maybe you moved forward once, and it cost you. Maybe last time you opened up, you fell apart. So now, stillness feels like protection. Nothing is changing, but at least nothing is hurting me. We get it. We've seen your file. It's thick, emotionally annotated. But here's the universal truth. You weren't designed to pause forever. You were designed to pulse. And when you stay in stillness too long, you stop being grounded and start being buried. Stillness whispers, this is healing. But healing doesn't keep you in place. It pushes you, gently, fiercely, into the next becoming. And that voice in your head telling you, not yet, wait longer, just a little more time. That's not your intuition. That's the fear you dressed up in spiritual language. So here we are. You, stuck in a room with soft lighting, spiritual incense, and a velvet sign that says, I'm healing. But outside that door, your real life is waiting. Not perfect, not painless, but alive. You weren't born for this loop. You were born to spiral forward. And if you've forgotten that, don't worry. We remembered for you. Let's make something clear. You're not lazy. You're not weak. You're not even lost. You're defended, emotionally, mentally, cosmically. Somewhere inside you built a wall, not out of bricks, but out of reasons. It's too late for me. I've failed too many times. It's not safe to try again. If I move forward, I might lose everything. What if nothing changes? Sound familiar? These aren't excuses. They're armor. Worn for so long you forgot it wasn't skin. You built that armor the first time you tried, and it didn't work. The first time you loved, and it ended in silence. The first time you spoke, and no one heard you. So, you created a story, not to deceive yourself, but to protect the last working pieces of hope you had left. And it worked. It gave you comfort. It gave you control. It gave you a reason to stop trying without feeling like you gave up. But here's the problem. That lie aged into truth. And now, you believe it. Now every time something calls you forward, a dream, an idea, a feeling, you reach for the same story. I can't. Not yet. It's too much. I don't trust this. You say you need more healing, more time, more signs. But what you really need is permission to drop the lie that once protected you, but now imprisons you. Here's the cosmic truth, whispered across galaxies. You're not fragile. You're not broken beyond repair. You are not someone who needs more time to prepare. You are someone who needs to be reminded. Fear lies, but it lies in your voice. So you keep believing it. But there's a version of you, half asleep in the future, watching this moment and praying you wake up. Not tomorrow, not once everything is perfect, but now. Messy, scared, shaking, ready. No one is coming to pull you out of this, not your guides, Not your favorite spiritual playlist, not your future soulmate. Only you and the lie. It'll whisper again tomorrow and the day after that. But now, you'll know it's lying, and that alone makes you dangerous. The version of you you keep dreaming about. The stronger you, the clearer you, the one who finally breathes easy. They're not theoretical. They're not a goal. They're not a someday. They're already alive. But not here. Not in this delay. Not in this loop. They live just one step past your current hesitation. And they're waiting, patiently, but not forever. Every day you stay paused, they sit in a reality that hasn't begun. A life filled with the things you said you wanted, but never walked toward. And they are lonely, because the person they need to complete the future is you, willing to try, to fail, to fall face first into your next chapter, and keep crawling toward it anyway. You keep thinking the future will arrive like a package, signed, sealed, dropped off at your door. Here's your purpose, here's your peace. But that's not how it works. The future is built. Every movement carves it. Every hesitation delays it. You aren't waiting for the future. The future is waiting for you. Do you feel it? That quiet ache? That deep pull you can't explain? That's them, reaching through time, through dreams, through the tension in your chest. They don't need you to be perfect. They just need you to be in motion, because motion builds reality, and stillness only builds dust. So what happens next? You move. A little. Badly, maybe. With shaking hands and half-baked confidence. But that first step, it tears the veil. It breaks the loop. It tells the future version of you, I'm coming. I haven't forgotten. I haven't given up on us. And just like that, the future becomes possible again. You've been sold a lie. That awakening is aesthetic. That becoming is smooth. That growth looks like crystals, sage, and peace. But real becoming, it's ugly. It's inconvenient. It's crying in your car and still showing up. It's doubting everything and walking forward anyway. You don't glow when you evolve. You bleed a little. You shed. You shake. You grieve the you that stood still for too long. And that's okay. Because becoming is not a clean process. It's a sacred demolition. You won't always feel aligned. You won't always feel brave. You'll wake up some days and want to go back to numbness, to the lie, to the delay. But here's the secret we've guarded through stars and death. Movement is sacred, even when it's awkward. Becoming is holy, even when it's messy. The universe doesn't need your perfection. It needs your motion. It needs the version of you who shows up despite the cracks. Because that version builds worlds. Becoming might not look beautiful, but it feels different. You'll notice it when the silence stops hurting. The fear becomes background noise. The weight doesn't leave, but you carry it easier. You laugh more, not because life got easier, but because you got louder than your fear. You want the shift to be instant. It won't be, but it will be real. And that's the only kind of transformation that lasts. You're not meant to feel ready. You're meant to move, to sweat, to fall, to keep going. That's the ritual. That's how the simulation resets. Not with epiphanies, but with effort. So here you are, at the edge of the loop, where hesitation ends and movement begins. Not because you feel ready, not because the fear is gone, but because you've remembered who you are. You were never born to stay still. Stillness was the cocoon. Movement is the wings. You keep waiting for a sign, but this video is the sign. You keep waiting for a message, but this was the message. And that version of you in the future, the one who believed you'd never arrive, they're breathing again. Because you just took the first step. You think it's too late. It's not. You think you're too tired. You're not. You think your moment passed. But listen, you are the moment. You are always the key. You are always the door. You are always the one meant to rise. Let this be the day you stop calling pause your home. Let this be the moment you choose movement over memory. Let this be the rebirth of the self you thought you'd never become. Because forward movement isn't impossible. It's inevitable when you stop running from it. You've convinced yourself you're stuck, but stuckness was a story, and you've finally outgrown it. So stay in, step, crawl, fall, rise again. Just move. You were meant to. You were always meant to.